Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ & Sons and our Austin's Wonderland theme park here as we are getting ready for the park tour since this is finally a completed project. So we are here at the entrance just taking a look at some of the lovely scenery coming into the entrance plaza. A lot of this hasn't been seen for a while, so we're taking a pretty decent little look at it. Now this is pretty much coming in, I think, sets the tone. I really wanted it to be more generic. It didn't always happen that way through this park. But that's kind of how it works for me, at least, as I plan on being generic, and then I completely switch that plan up in the middle of everything. So we have our entrance little pond section, water fountain kind of feature thing with the old track, the old corkscrew put through the middle of it. It fits pretty well within the park. So let's go ahead and run on in and take a look at our first coaster here, the Slingshot as we call it. It's a pretty standard flashback coaster. Sorry for the camera work problems. You played Planet Coaster enough, you know how these things happen. But as we take a look further around the park, our first ride is going to be that Slingshot one. So we are setting up, and I think going to try to view this park how we designed it, so how everything came to be essentially. Slingshot being the first coaster that was put in, it is the oldest and it's an older style of them. So I actually hit stop on that one, that was my fault. Closed the ride temporarily. Looking at the results, we're talking 60 miles per hour, 100 and about 37 feet for the drop. And let's go ahead and restart the test since I foolishly closed the ride. And let's just hop on into it, ladies and gentlemen. And with us is my wife. She'll be joining us on these rides today. Someone who really has a severe anxiety, fear, dislike of coasters. So say hi to everybody, Deb.
Hello, everyone.
We are coming up the back slope. Let's breathe.
That's hard.
She has decided to come on all the rides with us for this trip.
Oh, God. Oh. Oh, boy.
Backwards we go.
Oh, my. It feels worse going backwards.
That is the Slingshot coaster. Like I said, these are older ones, so normally, I mean, most parks have them, or a certain version of them, but as soon as I open it, everybody starts going right back in. These are generally your older coasters for the parks. It's good to get it in and out of the way. It's kind of a classic, at least in the parks that I go to here in Texas. It's generally a pretty classic one. So, taking a look at the entrance plaza, kind of how we have everything set out. We're going to come over here to our second area, and there's our little taco shop, inspired by my wife. So keep in mind, all of this stuff was built before the restaurant release happened, that update, which was what, like number 4? All this stuff was built well before those releases happened, so we don't see the full effect of them. Now the next ride we're going to look at was inspired by the Texas Stingray at SeaWorld. If you've ever ridden it, it is a really good, intense ride. It's a wooden CG or GCI coaster, however the hell you pronounce that. It's fast. It's got a lot of quick turns to it. This one is really no different. They are fairly quick and shorter rides, but they have their intensity to say the least. Excuse me. All green ratings, and if you take a look, only 99-foot biggest drop, but 1.5 seconds of airtime there. It's got pretty fast pace, fairly quick ride, 5-star prestige. Let's jump into it. As we are sitting front row on the Chupacabra.
Wait, and it's wood?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Well, I did ride the Rattler once. Oh, lordy.
See, we're already at the end of it. I told y'all it's a quick ride, but it is a fun one. And I think it's, like I said, all green ratings for these things, so it works out really well. It is one of the, I guess, park goer favorites. And if you see, we got damn near 5,500 people in the park. When you exit this thing, you do exit into its own little plaza segment in the middle of it. Which, like I said, once with the restaurant stuff, we probably would have gotten each one of these buildings that is kind of, I'll say, more space filler. But we could have gotten each one of those buildings into a little walk-up kind of style restaurant thing and assigned those tables to each of them. It would have made it a little bit more effective, but I think overall it looks pretty good for that area. So now let's move on to our next one, Dragon Flight. And building this, I knew I wanted to do a flying coaster, not an inverted one, but an actual flying coaster, which is what this one is. And the real thought behind it was more or less, I mean, it's a really good ride, but the viewpoints that you get as a guest. So if you're taking a look at this, coming into this little plaza area, get down to kind of guest level, you hear that roar of the B&M coasters that they make, just that sound of them. And you get to see it going around, but then there's going to be the flyby time. And you'll see it coming up here in just a second. It's going to fly right past this corner as you see it. And that's just really a lot of good viewpoints. I know definitely if you know someone that's on the ride, a family member, friend, you're going to be standing right there watching. Zoom right past you into the corkscrew as we close out the ride shortly after that. Now this one, it does only have 5.11 in the excitement. That was kind of hard. I think part of that is the block brake section at the back of it. But it does go 72 miles an hour on a 145-foot drop. Opening into it. Lots of different, I would say head chopper, but I guess since you're under the track, feet chopper kind of moments. Let's jump on it real quick, going down the hill.
Oh my god! Oh! Oh. The worst part is I'm laying down for this.
Oh, yeah. Rocks are zooming right by your face.
I know. Oh, man. Oh, whoa. That's a lot of twisting. For lack of not knowing the proper term.
It's a tight 0G roll right there. That 0G roll, I think I like adding them in. It reminds me of the old Star Fox 64, the do a barrel roll movement word. So that's kind of where that came from. But a lot of flyby areas. You can see the little plaza section down there, just shops, tables, everything. So each ride has its own little plaza area for it that kind of feeds into it. So now the next one that we put into this park is the big bad boy, the Forest Runner. And you can kind of see it's getting ready to go up the lift hill right now. It is a cable lift. But you see the queue path. That was just kind of the thought of it. walking through a forest before, boom, you better start running because something's giving you a chase. And taking a look at the results, top speed 97 miles an hour coming off a 311 foot drop, 3 seconds of air time. It does count one inversion. It's just a 90-degree turn, folks. So let's jump into this thing real quick here. And as we go up, look at the view of the park.
No!
I mean, that is an amazing view as you approach the top of this lift hill. So here we go. The cable's about to throw us. Hold on tight, everybody.
Oh, God. Oh, no. No! Oh, God. And we go again. No. Oh. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed.
Gotta open them.
Oh, no.
See, at night, this tunnel is lit up green, which looks pretty cool, I will say.
Oh, God. Oh. I hate this part. Oh. Oh, my God. Is it almost over?
It's getting there.
Why do we have to be so high up? Oh, God. Oh. Please let it be over.
You're almost there.
Oh,
A lot of quick little turns here at the end help throw off some of that speed as we get to the final little brake runs into it. So this one,
that's a long one.
it is really good ratings all the way through. So I do like how this one turned out incredibly well. So coming into this part and in this coaster, we had to put some areas in something in the back area of it, right? So I didn't want it to just run through the trees. I mean, in all reality, I could have probably had that happen. But I wanted to fit just some more into it. So we did extend the park into the back. And you see a lot of these planter sections that we have here fitting with the forest kind of theme. There's a bumper car building right over there. The Greenhouse Tavern, which has some bumper cars that I guess would be fitting for a bunch of drunk people leaving a tavern, bumping into each other. And this massive swing, which doesn't fit really the theme of the area, but for some reason, I just liked it there. And that does lead us to our new, essentially, not new, but essentially, think of an Athens, ancient Athens, Greece, in the time of the Greek gods and everything, as we have a bunch of shops that are not opened. But we do have right here, Battle for Apollo, riding on Apollo's chariot, going to be taking off, going around. Once again, a lot of good viewpoints, and that's really what I wanted to have on this ride. I mean, it's got 5.5 excitement, or 5.25, I guess, excitement. So I think it's a little lower than what it should be. Max speed 79. Biggest drop, 147 feet. So really, most of these rides have about a 150-foot drop at the highest, with the exception of Forest Runner. Didn't want to make them too excessively massive. But like I said, with all these, the viewpoints from the path work. Because you don't want to just think of the people on the rides. It's everybody else they're with. For those that don't like watching them or don't like riding them, it gives great viewpoints to see your friends and family on the rides, to where they can actually kind of see you and your facial reactions. Because that's one of the biggest things we always watch for whenever our kids will ride coasters without me on them, is just seeing them as they go whizzing right past us. And to see that look on their face, see the pictures. No on-ride pictures because that update just came out. So that will be in the new park that we have already started working on, though, since that update is out now. And you can see the chariot, it is taking it a second to come around as it has booted into the station. So we're going to go ahead and jump on it. You can see it's going to be a packed house on this ride. Everybody's hopping on. It's going to take them just a second to get off. And that's one thing I may have made this park a little too, I guess, wide as far as where people have to walk, so it takes them a while to get around. Like I said, 5,500 people in the park. There's still queue line space. So.
Oh.
All right, let's go ahead and get on up this hill. You're joining us in the front row, everybody's.
Why do we always have to ride front row?
It's the best place to be for rides.
Well, I know, but not anymore.
Here we go.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Beautiful view coming off the lift hill.
Oh. Oh, wow.
One of the biggest loops we've put in the game.
Oh. Wow. Whoa.
It's a Cobra roll.
This one has a lot of this. Oh.
It's got like 5 inversions.
Wait, we're not done. Oh.
No, you ain't done yet, man.
Oh my god. Oh.
Corkscrew with a lot of hang time right there at the top
Yeah.
of it. And we're coming in for a nice, easy finish. And so that was the little battle for Apollo right there. Pretty nice. Like I said, I like the viewpoints. That's really what went a lot into designing this one. Not just being right here to see that come around the turn, but from every section in this area, whether you're over here by the Star Shooter, you're by those little restaurants that are still closed, you can see the track. And this is going to be the highlight point for anybody that's not on the ride. So while your family's on it, your friends are on it, you get to see it over so many different points here. And actually the train is going up now. Take a look to show you what I kind of mean on this and getting that shot of the coaster coming around. So that drop is straight into that massive loop is more from Superman and Fiesta Texas, inspired by that at least. I think it turned out pretty well in the end. Does take up a lot of space though. Got to try to figure a way to tighten that one up. As you can see, it's going to come around that loop, and you're just watching, and then boom, here they come right underneath you, around on the other side. So you get a lot of good viewpoints of the coaster coming across this bridge. I think that's one of the biggest parts that went into designing this thing. Was looking at that. So now we're going to come over into the last section of the park here, which is more of a Jurassic Park inspired theme. You can tell by the buildings. It didn't start out that way. It just ended up being like that. And the first coaster we're going to look at is called Raptor Run. You know, almost about perfectly built for a launch style coaster. It does say biggest drop is 86 feet. But, you know, overall, it's not that bad. That's just once it launches you up a hill, that is the biggest drop. The speed gets you up to 78 miles per hour off the launch. So it is one of those that, man, it gets you going, and it gets you going pretty quick. But like I said, this is a fairly fast ride. It's not one that takes too long. It is going to have a lot of sharp corners, a lot of sharp turns. It does have 4 airtime hills involved with it. So a lot of different opportunities to get those thrills in and to get that little weightless feeling. And you can actually see the train go around the pathway over there right now. And it is winding its way here to the finish. And we are going to jump on it here pretty quick. once again, a ride like this, we're going to hop on in the front row. I don't want anybody impeding our point of view as we wait for people to hop on. And the straps close, lock in. Let's get moving, folks. Here we go to the launch point, which I do make it pause for you at the launch, which I thought I really like that part. I like going from sitting still to boom, being shot out of a cannon. You can see there's our little launcher cable. Boom, connected in, locked and loaded. Boom. Lots of head chopper moments too for this one. Airtime hill. That and into another airtime. Now that first little turn through the cave, that actually goes pretty fast. It's a fairly intense turn. As we come to the end of it, like I said, it's very quick, you know. And that was kind of the idea behind naming it Raptor Run, is to make it that fast. Now you can see these little raptor statues. I did not make those. I got those off the workshop, and for the life of me, I cannot remember who made them. If I think about it, I'll put it down in the comments, because they do look really good. And guys, if you ever do find something in the workshop that is better than what you know you can create, just take it and use it. That's why it's out there. That's why people put stuff out there in the workshop, is for it to be used. So definitely, I'm trying to figure out if I can find who actually built this thing, 'cause I can't remember. And for some reason, I'm trying to think of the stupid words to be able to search for it. Because I did, like I said, I did not make this. This is not a custom creation by any means. And maybe it's in facilities. That doesn't make any sense. But what the hell? Why not try it? No. Alright, let's take a look. I'm not going to go into the word. Let's take a look at these blueprints again. It's got to be somewhere around here. Let me see. A lot of these blueprints are the end game ones. I did download some for some parks. But I try to do everything custom creation as much as possible. And there they are. And it doesn't say who created it. So I'll try to give them the credit once I get the video posted. If I can remember, just know it was not me. I'm not trying to say it was either. Alright, so that was Raptor Run, and here's our other ride over here. I don't know if anybody remembers from Houston Astro World, they had the Texas Twister. It was moved from a different park also. It was this style of coaster. It had 4 inversions, pretty quick, one after another. That was kind of the thought behind this. So I wanted to make it pretty similar. So there's 4 inversions. It's got some good speed to it. It's got some pretty good pace to it. Overall, I think the ride works out very well for the park. And then right here soon after this ride, we will have a little surprise for my wife that she's not expecting, since she has joined us on all these coasters.
Wait, what?
And the fact she hates coasters. So taking a look at this one, 116-foot drop, 61 miles per hour is the speed. And it's coming around here at the end. A lot of quick, tight turns, followed by a final little airtime hill into a massive 90-degree turn, which really is more of a space-filling turn to actually get it into the station as safely as possible. So I was going to plan on hopping on it just as is, but there's not enough people and I don't really want to wait. So I decided to put it into test mode, but I forgot to get the test started. So that one's on me. As I take a look and it closes, I can see it sitting there at start test and nothing is happening. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this back into actual starting the test. And let's jump on. Just us two. You're joining my wife and I in the front row of the coaster that shall not be named.
Wait, this coaster has no name?
Nope. I forgot to name it. Minor details. And there's no over-shoulder straps. It is only lap bar.
Oh. That can't be good. Oh.
A lot of hang time on these loops. I will say I did do a lot of testing on the loop height to make sure that it would work. You have no idea how many times I had to redo those loops. So we bring it back in. Now here comes some fast little zip around turns around the queue line, over the pathwork, and into the final little turnaround. So before we hit the water park coming up here, there is just one little other ride that we need to go through. As I open it back up.
I will not be.
And this is one that we're going to go over that is one of my wife's favorite rides, and in fact, it's the only reason why I actually put this one in here, and I try to put one in just about every park that I do. We make our way back through. I got to turn off over here at Zeus's Cafe. And there it is. Almost had myself lost in this one. You can take a look. It is the Raging Rapids.
Oh my god.
More of a Viking style rapids ride.
Oh my.
You can see everybody's lined up for it. The line is just as slow as you would imagine the ones in real life to be. And yes, this ride is going to get you wet. That is going to happen. I designed it that way purposefully. Mainly because every time my family goes on these rides, it's always a contest of who can come out the most dry. So I got one finally going into the station. I got to figure out which tube thing this is. It's not that one. Nope. Let me see. There it is. Alright, they're getting off. We're going to hop on. Now, these rides normally don't work out that well in the first-person view, so I am going to change up the viewpoint. And you can see it's pretty much going to be this one. Let's see. Front, bumper, no. Looking forward. We're going to do a chase camera on this. Alright, everybody. It is our Raging Rapids.
The water looks like it's going fine.
Actually, no, it's just the rapid portion. Like you install the rapids underneath to make it do that whole bouncy floaty thing. And these rides are pretty slow, so obviously the excitement rating is hard to bring it up. But I try to put in as much rapids as possible into this thing. There we go. Boom, straight into rapids. And guys, these people are going to get hit by trees. I figure a little woundage at theme parks, not the worst in the world. Especially going this slow, people can dodge trees. You know what, if you get hit by them, you get hit by them. Not my fault. Sue me, I don't care. There's the first little scene set up. A couple little Viking ships wrecked over on the shore. Halfway sunk in, halfway not. Completely destroyed. Come around the turn.
There's a lot of spinning.
There is. Remember the one from yesterday?
Yes.
Lots of spinning. The one at SeaWorld, they had this segment where they stop you,
Oh,
and then they
everybody's
spin you
getting
everywhere.
sprayed.
Yeah, we got waterfalls from all sides. I'm going to have streams shooting out. There's the first little Viking encampment off to the left side. No real animatronics, so not a whole lot to see. But here comes a whole bunch of little water jets shooting out. I told you, everybody's going to get wet on this one. You will not escape dry. as you go through my river rapids. And it's just constant. Now here we come into the second little scene, which is kind of a Viking longship on fire. You get to see the axes on the ground, shields everywhere. You know a battle's taking place. Who won? Who knows? Lost to the times of history. Back and around on some more rapid turns, spinning. I'm not gonna lie, you might get a little dizzy on this one. I didn't think about that till just now. Come back through, you're gonna get sprayed some more. You got waterfalls coming
Wait,
off.
what was that?
What was that? Nobody knows, man. Except it is an explosion of water. Boom.
Oh my god.
You better not have your cell phone on this ride, folks.
Oh.
Boom.
Just to make sure that you get wet.
Yes. And no, I did not trigger it. It goes off of that. It goes off that fast automatically. I could have put triggers on. I chose not to. But that is the River Rapids ride. And that one, like I said, did that one for my wife because those are her favorite rides. One we go on every single time we go to a park.
That would be great.
Dang it, like excitement was at 4.2. That was kind of hard to build up to that level. Reality. So that is the actual theme park. Now we are going to check the water park. I'm not going to ride every dang slide, every dang tube, just because that the way it works, the way they look, becomes a little off. It's a little weird. So Splash Town is going to be our water park that we are going to be coming into. For those of you that saw the series, these restaurant sections here would have been perfect if the update hadn't come out after they were done. And no, I did not want to redo them. I figure I'll just put restaurants into my new parks instead of going back to the old ones. Let it be. So we have a souvenir shop there, a changing section inside, lots of different things. And there's our oversized lazy river. Yes, it is.
My god!
It is about, if I had to guess, about a mile long at this point, and it sits at about 40 feet wide. A little too excessive. Way too excessive.
Okay, for those of us that don't enjoy riding rides at the water park, I would love that.
Yes, if we were
Lazy
chilling.
river.
Now, one thing about that lazy river is it also sits at about 8 feet deep.
Oh god.
Yeah. So, the lazy river is not the highlight of the water park. The great white water coaster is the highlight of the water park. Here,
We're not riding it, right?
oh, we are going to ride it.
Oh my god. Is
It's-
that coral reef?
Yes, I built it onto the side. So here we go, off to the start. I gotta change the person. I gotta change our rider real quick. It's taking me a second to think about that. Because this person is really annoying seeing in front of us. Shoots us up the first hill, and then let's let physics and water jets take over after that. And apparently trees through the car.
Oh my god. Oh no. Are we on an energy?
Yes. So it's like the one at Fiesta.
Like the two-seater?
Yeah. A couple rocks in the way, no big deal though. Boom, and you come to the end. It's a quick little water coaster ride. And I think it is the highlight of the water park. It's the biggest thing you're going to see, especially from the parking lot. You get up to 34 miles an hour. Now, that is a little excessive, even I'll admit that. I'm not sure how you get up to that with just a 30-foot drop, but so be it. That's the way it is. Now, the coral reef does line the water park pretty much. It is the border of it. Here's our first segment of tubes and flumes, wave runners. No one ever goes on this. I don't know why. Haven't figured that one out. Probably just something I did to them. That's okay though. They're more for show, anyways. Like a lot of these buildings, all these buildings pretty much are all for show. That's why I made them as colored as they did, is just because it works out pretty well that way. Now here's a couple of flumes that do have people going on them, which is kind of shocking. So we're going to take a look at these as we get going underway real quick. And it's hard to control the camera because you spin with the person. I didn't want to do the follow through. But these are pretty basic. Just go around some turns while you're going down and boom.
No.
And boom. Right at the finish. Boop. Done and done.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the flumes are pretty quick. But people are going on them. Like I said, I don't know what the difference between these and the other ones are. But they like them, so do I. As we go down, I started putting a fairly good mix of open and tunnel segments into these things. I'm not sure if it adds to the excitement, but I think, at least I like how they look better this way. I'll say that much. Boom, right into the finish. And I wanted to make each ride finish pretty much here at the front. So it's the one thing you see as you hop off, boom, you're right back into the water park. Not a whole bunch else to look at or to kind of go through. So those are what we call the Thunder Rapids section. You have Wave Runner, Thunder Rapids, and then you get to the tower slides. Now, this is still in test mode. I've decided, I didn't realize it was in test mode at the time of this. It is one of the higher ratings that we got, but that's just for the style. It's got that little switch around, big drop switch around thing. So I did open it up briefly, realizing no one's going to get up there to get on it that quickly. So I'm going to have to go back through and look at them. Now these are the tower slides. These are the big boys, the tall ones. They start at the highest that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Let me hop into it real quick. We're going to have to change our viewpoint. Down the hill, up the side on the other one, and then right back to the finish portion. Like I said, this stuff goes by real fast.
Oh my god.
Chase should work pretty well as they levitate over the water, it looks like. And we got to go back through to try to get a good shot of it. That's going to be the problem here. Boom. This is really all it is. So you start here at the beginning, down around a turn, and boom, steep drop into it, up the side, and back to the finish. Quick, effective, one of the higher rated ones. We are going to open it. I don't know how many people are going to get to it. So, as I said, 5,500 people. This is a massive water park. Absolutely massive. And then we're going to check out one of our last little rides, which are these drop flumes that nobody goes on, which is okay, I guess. Like I said, I'll figure out the water park portion and stuff later.
Like the bottom drops out? Or,
yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, it is a bottom drop out thing. Max speed, 47 miles per hour, 76-foot drop.
Oh.
As you can see, there it is right there, but I've got to go in and test it. You can see the little test dummy goes zooming in. Boom! It's that fast. Floor drops out. You come to the very end. Boom! It's quick. You don't really know. You don't get a chance to think about what's going on too much in this one. So I tested it. Let me open it right back up. Yeah, nobody's been on it. That's life. Now, this one, you come out, when you're done, you have to walk through this little restaurant segment. That was by design, just to get you to try to spend more money, I guess. So that's going to take us over here to our wave pool, which, once again, outlined by the reef. You come out of the lazy river, right to the wave pool, which seems to have a pretty good number of people just chilling out in the chairs. A lot of others in the actual pool. Turns out pretty well. I guess one of the more highly used features of our water park. And here's our little tiki sections that we have that you can rent for your family. Got one taking advantage of it. So it turns out I liked how the water park did. I'm gonna have to make it a lot smaller in my next parks, just because size, kind of weird on that one.
We're
But
still keeping the lazy river though, right?
yes, we'll keep a lazy river in.
Thank you.
All right, so that was the park tour, everybody. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you haven't hit it already. We've got more Planet Coaster content coming. We've already started work on the next park. It will have a water park and a lazy river, as I just confirmed with my wife. But that will be all later on. I hope y'all enjoyed building this park, Austin's Wonderland. It was a fun time for me. Remember to hit the thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And like I said, you can catch me on Twitch most weekends doing live stream of a different park. And I will have a whole new series coming to YouTube as well here shortly. So stay tuned for that, guys. And I will see y'all in the next time. So as always, everybody, stay safe. And, well, y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.